Thursday the 5th of December 2024. A little bit of a late start today just because the previous night I had drunk something and it kind of like gave me like a stitch, so I was in a lot of pain. So a bit of a late start. Came into Ground Cafe at around 9 a.m. Didn't have time for the gym. Working in Ground Cafe, I got a flat white because my stomach was actually so full from my breakfast. I didn't want to like, you know, have like a latte because like it's a bit more filling, if you like. So I'm just working in there from 9 a.m. to about 10 a.m. And then at 10:30 I headed to the Geo Jones building to have my advisor meeting, which is basically we're doing a project in third year. My project's on black hole advisor, which is basically him teaching me all the stuff that I need to know so that I can do this project. A few videos back I said there's like the sixth floor of Geo Jones is like so cool. Not cool, but it's like it's like a world of its own. And like I told you guys there was a dog up there, and like I saw the dogs. I recorded a video. One thing I wanted to reflect upon was that the title of this video is called The Truth as a Weapon, and the reason why I wanted to call it that was because in this specific advisor meeting, it was only me in this advisor meeting, and our meeting had come to an end, and our professor was kind of like our professor. He's such a lovely guy, by the way, I love him, but at the end of this meeting he was just showing me some stuff that he was kind of like interested in, and like he wasn't, I don't think he was very like passionately explaining it to me. He was just kind of like, you know, when you kind of like, I don't want to sound rude, but you know when you're kind of like dragging it on a little bit, and like I don't think he necessarily wanted me there. I just think he had a point and he was on the point, and you know, once you're kind of like on the point, you know, you can't kind of like stop, if that kind of makes sense. And like obviously he's very passionate about it, so he was just kind of like going on and on about it, but like I was just kind of like sitting there, and I don't think he really wanted me to be there anyway. And I was kind of sitting there, and you know, it had been 2 hours already, and the time was kind of like ticking on, and basically I need to learn how to say no. Basically I need to learn how to say no. The reason why I'm hesitant sometimes in the past to say no is because, number one, I'm so accustomed to accommodating people, and also number two, I'm also anxious that people are going to that people are going to interpret my saying no as something bad, as like rudeness on my part, for instance. But number one, if you're always scared of that, you end up becoming that. I'm not going to go into why, but you end up becoming that anyway. And also so I just need to learn how to say no. I need to stop worrying about if it's rude or not, because it's not rude, it's just the truth. Like I need to just kind of say the truth. I'm not saying it to be rude, I'm not saying it to be horrible, I'm just saying the truth, and I think I kind of have to do that. Anyway, after that, it was about 12:30. I was so exhausted. I was so exhausted. I made my way to the physics museum and I warmed up my food. I ate a guy from my course. I just sat down with him and I ate it. I then went over into the gym and I done my workout. It's just a shoulder workout today, simple stuff. See, I still done my workout. See, champ, huh? Champ, I'm the champ. I'll probably cut that bit out. After that took me to around like 4 o'clock roughly, and I had a bit of time, so I was just waiting around on campus. I saw lots of friends on this particular occasion, and I started editing some videos. And then one nice thing to mention about today is that I had planned to do a kind of like a meet up with my friend. So my friend's name is Jatan, and he's an accommodation student, so I thought it would be nice if we like got takeaway and we brought it back to his place. So on this day he's gonna come pick me up at 6 o'clock. Now it's funny, he actually called me up at 5:30 and he was like, oh Jericho, I'm not doing anything now, should I just come pick you up now rather than come in at 6 because I have nothing to do now? And I kind of just said yes. I did fight it off a little bit. I was like, okay, let me check something, because I did actually have something to do, and we agreed to meet at 6, but he called me at 5:30, but that would serve as a disadvantage to me. So I kind of like fought it off a little bit, and I thought about it and I was like, oh, this is you kind of like doing like people pleasing. So I did kind of fight it off, but I ended up giving in at the end, and I ended up just saying, okay, yeah, just come pick me up. So I just need to learn how to say no, and I just need to I need to learn how to say no, basically. And I gotta stop worrying about if people are going to think bad of me by just saying that's the truth. Like, a lot of the things I do, if I get worried that someone's going to interpret it negatively, I'll just say it's the truth. You know, this sounds a bit weird. It sounds a bit weird, but I think it highlights the point perfectly. Like, yeah, look, I was just gonna give this example of, like, basically, you know how sometimes, like, I'm recording and, like, I take videos and whatnot. Like, for instance, if someone were to come up to me and just say, like, oh, why are you filming, you're a pedo, right? I'd just say, like, no, I'm not a pedo. Like, I'll just say the truth, literally. Like, I'll just say, no, I'm not a pedo, I'm a good person, I'm making video vlogs and I'm recording, and I never get anyone's face, like, fully in the face anyway if they don't want to, and I try to avoid people. But you shouldn't be coming in front of all these people saying that. It tells more about you than it does on me.
Pedo!
What?
Pedo!
I'm not a pedo, and if I was...
Do you get me? Like, I know that's a bit of an extreme example and it's a bit silly, but it just, those are the type of, like, intrusive thoughts that I'll get. And, you know, I don't have to think of something to say. Like, I'll just say the truth, because, do you get me? Because, like, I'll think of that and I'll think of, like, okay, what can I say to kind of combat this? But really and truly, I just got to say the truth. Do you get me? And I think that's the best way, because if you're always kind of, like, anticipating something bad's happening, you're gonna end up being the victim or the bully. So yeah. So I should have said no. I should have said no twice today, but I didn't. But it's okay, because things are a process. And in terms of interactions today, I was just a lot better anyway. Like, today was just a hell of a lot better. Just understanding this idea of kind of, like, you know, just capitalizing from the previous video, the concepts I kind of learned. So yeah, thank you.